Right, what you're looking at there is Phnom Diey Temple. And as you can tell, this one certainly is a forgotten one. It does appear on maps, but I assure you, no tourists come here, that's for sure. Now let's do our 360, have a look at our environment. And as you can see, it's rather jungly, isn't it? Now this one's caused me a spot of bother because I got the initial location wrong and ended up miles off course. And in fact, I ended up in a military base and they told me twice that it was a restricted area and I had to get out. The second time they told me, they were really peeved off on account I never listened to the first warning. So with some assistance, I'm pleased to say we're back on track. So let me lift up my petticoat as I say, what ho, away we go. And here we go. And can you see it? Can you see it? It's just in the centre of your screen there. You can see the external wall. And this is where the excitement comes in, you see. You don't know what you're going to find. And isn't this great? The birds are chirping. And we've got some wonderful things that nature have provided to make our day even more special. Look at that. That is a cathedral to calm, isn't it? How beautiful is that? And although wondrous, it is not that we've come to admire. It is the ancient ancestors and what they got up to in their religious beliefs and what they left behind for us to have fantastic days out. Now here's the wall. As you can see, I have to be jolly careful. These jungle vines really bind around your legs and it's like trying to walk through tripwires. Now then, here I stand on the external wall and as I look up, there you go, a prasat stands before us and it looks remarkably complete. Goody. And in the middle there is a second, but he certainly has suffered the trials and tribulations of time, but the third to complete the trilogy is looking rather good. This is going to be a good one. Now, this is the wall we've just climbed, and that is the entranceway, I believe, that would have led into the three. And I'm going to start with our latest friend, this chappie here, and see what lays within. And here he is from his other side. As we entered, we're now on his left side. And he's in great nick, isn't he? Have a look at that. He really is a fantastic find. And here, as we walk between the two of them, we have our first visit of the day. And there he is, that's the front of him. And he looks fantastic, doesn't he? That really is special, but I've noticed something, and we start with a hint of sadness. See that in the centre? That carving's gone. But more than that, these strike marks here look remarkably fresh to me. They don't look like they've been there an awful long time. So I would suggest he's been robbed not too long ago, but with the sadness comes a bit of joy, actually. That's quite amusing, isn't it? I didn't spot that. There's a soul tree just sitting there, sentinel, right in the middle of his beating heart. Isn't this sweet? There we go. Squeeze my way in. Oh, hello. Oh, that's very sweet. And this is absolutely fantastic. Let me do my usual. And the thing about this shot, which I absolutely adore, look at these walls, they're in remarkably good condition, is when you see this on your screen at home, it never looks as fantastic as it does in the real world. It's always a wow moment. Every single time I scan up and see that, the greenery as you go through the sky. And I have to be careful, oh, it's really muddy in here. And let's have a look from the back wall, which I've never done before. Oh, gosh, it's unbelievably muddy. And there is the doorway going out. And there it is. So we're going to say goodbye to Mr. Tree, who's very sweet indeed, and head back out and have a look at the other two. Here's number 2. the central one, and he has not fared well against the ravages of time. There's only his, as I stand, his right wall and the footprints of what he once was. This obviously would have been his doorway. And the poor sausage, my guess is he's been whacked with a couple of very large trees. And he would have been the most senior of the partners. As to look, if one came, that would have been a doorway. But as you can tell, it's completely filled with mud. We're very elevated here. We're about 6 feet above what would have been ground level back then. But let's have a look at number 3. And he has done so much better, hasn't he? He's looking absolutely lovely. And we'll keep the shot going as we come down. I'm going to try and get a decent view of the front of him. And he does look majestic. But yet again, we're seeing that echo again of the sadness we saw before. And I'm now convinced. Look at that. That is without doubt a fresh strike mark. This place, that is definitely fresh. There's no other part of the temple that looks like that. This place has not too long ago been robbed, which is jolly sad. But he still has his awe, for me anyway. He may be missing a bit, but it hasn't taken his heart away. Sorry, I got completely wedged in the door. And again, we have all the walls. God, these things are amazing, aren't they? That is just wonderful. And as we turn round, it's a bally big termite mound. Look at that. And that is big. That's about 6 foot something. That is big. And rather worrying, I've just seen a couple of little bees come out of there. So if you'll excuse me, I'm going to get out. And as we leave him behind, there's a path here that's going into the jungle. And I've noted there's some more doorways here, you see. And as we come round here, we have a real treat for you. It's absolutely wonderful. Excuse the wobbly camera, there's nothing I can do because the terrain is god-awful, especially when you're clambering over lumps of temple which are really slippery due to monsoon and moss. Now, have a butcher's hook at this. Look. Have you got what I've got? It's these. There's 2 feet. Now, I have never seen that before. And do me a favour and type Ozymandias poem into the internet. It is my favourite. I read it when I was a child and I can only remember a little bit. And it says, here stands Ozymandias, King of Kings, Almighty, stand in fear, or something. And the beauty of the poem is, that is written on a stone like this, where there's these 2 huge feet and nothing else. So when the statue was made, you see, Ozymandias was almighty and everyone, even the mighty, stood in fear. But as time went on, he was just forgotten. And if you read the poem, then think of this shot, you'll see how remarkable that is. So, in memory of dear old Ozymandias, who I don't think existed, but if he did, this one's for you. And in the centre of your screen, through that greenery, is the 3 prasats we've just visited. But further out, we're still finding things like these are doorways. But it just shows you, look, doorways at least 6 foot, isn't it? Just at the entrance. And, 6'5", I don't know what a doorway is, but look, completely filled. So it makes it even more remarkable that we have a hint of our good friend Ozymandias and also those 3 lovely prasats. It has been a fantastic temple, this one. I've really enjoyed this one. Just more than I expected, and well worth not giving up and carrying on until I managed to hunt it down. So this has been another 10-minute adventure in the jungle, looking for temples that kind of been forgotten, and I very much hope you enjoyed it.